Hi everyone, this is Ryan and we're doing lesson 22 of learning JavaScript. In this lesson we'll be dealing with dialog messages. So we have a standard div to do some output and we link to our external JavaScript file. In our JavaScript file we wait for the document to load and we do the anonymous function. So one example of a dialog message is an alert box. And you just call the alert function. It's actually part of the window object, so you would say window.alert, but seeing that window is the grandparent of all the different browser objects, we may leave it out and just say alert, and then you get the pop-up message. I don't really like using this alert that much because it looks different in every browser. It also lands up pausing the rest of the download of the document until you press OK. But let's look at some other examples. We could have a confirm message. Normally this asks a question, like, are you sure you want to delete this item? So you see it looks similar to the alert box, also a pop-up box that you can drag around, but it has two buttons instead of one. It's got a cancel button and an OK button. So you could press either one of them and the message would disappear. But this confirm method or function returns a value of true or false depending on which button you clicked on. So I could actually assign this to a variable and then display the value inside my block. So press OK, it says true, press cancel, it says false. So then you can use this inside an if statement, for example. You could say if choice. Remember the way an if statement works is that the if part of the statement handles the true side and the else part of the statement handles the false side. So you could just say if choice you clicked on OK, or else you clicked on cancel. You clicked on cancel, you clicked on OK. So this can be useful for normally the back end of a website. I don't normally put on the front end of a site, because once again it looks different in different browsers. But on the back end of a site it could be nice for a case where you want to delete an entry from a database and you want to provide some sort of confirmation to the user before they actually physically delete the entry. Let's now look at another type of dialog message called a prompt. Prompt also does a pop-up, and it also allows you to enter a value. It's got an OK and a cancel button. So it's obviously going to return a value, so I'm going to store it into a variable, and then we can actually display that in our block. Enter your name, say George, and then it displays George in our block. If I just put a blank value, it's a blank value, and if I press cancel, it's also blank. So you could use this to get a response from a user. Just bear in mind that it will look different in different browsers. So most people don't really use this anymore on web pages. And that ends our lesson in working with dialog messages.